Drago, do you mind? Could you not chew on my pencils? Yes. Could you not chew on my... Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? In this video, I'm going to be showing you all the games that I have abandoned development on, including a few that I kind of abandoned or I've put on the back burner. But we're going to start with full-on abandoned, and we'll do the other ones at the very end. I got this video idea for a while, and then I put up a poll, as you see right here, and apparently the majority voted for this. The second most popular was my thoughts on GDevelop, and then not many people much cared about what I wish I knew before making cozy games. These are all videos I want to make, but we will start with this one, because this one won, and it's also kind of the easiest one to get me back into actively making videos, which I've kind of had a rough time doing. But yeah, so I suppose we can just get started. Now the first one, I'm gonna have to show you old footage because I don't think I have it anymore since I've reloaded my computer, and GDevelop does this thing unless you tell the games to save somewhere else. It saves in a folder in like another area, like my documents or something, and I think it's gone. But I worked on it for maybe 10 minutes, so I'm not really that devastated. The art, however, I don't know where that is. I hope I still have it because I actually really liked the character. But as you see on screen, all I really got done was moving a character around. I was originally going to follow one of GDevelop's tutorial series, and then I realized that my character looks dumb flipped because she has a hook hand, and I just decided, you know what, instead of just like using a box like you're supposed to, I'm just going to not make that game. So that's all this is. Okay, so we're starting with a broken one. All of the things are broken, and I was like, well, what if I just re-import everything? That won't work because the images are all corrupted. That happened because this was a cloud file, and then I imported it in, and it just got corrupted while importing in. So I can't really show this one. But the main goal of the game was there was bugs that spawned, and then a drink would spawn, and it's kind of like a cafe game, and you have to give them what they want. What did I call this game? I think I called it Winter Bug Tavern. But everything is broken. All of my sprites are dead. You can't see anything, and I'm not remaking all of the sprites to show something I'm not working on. But this was what I had. It didn't really work that well, so don't try and learn from this because it didn't work very well. But that's what this was. But now we're going to go on to one that should probably work. Here's another one. Hopefully this one works better. Okay, so this one is called Whack-A-Mouse, and the purpose of this one was to be for a game jam from the occasional gamer. And I didn't get very far with this one because I was going to do this one, but then the Fireside game jam was happening at the same time, and I looked forward to that one for a very long time, so I ended up having to pick which one can I do because I couldn't do two in a row like that close together. I need days to decompress after a game jam. So I chose the Fireside one, which you will see the failed game before I made the good game in this. But this was made basically just whack-a-mole, but it's a mouse. But I abandoned it pretty quickly. Yeah, the mouse wasn't going back to the other sprite like I was telling it to. That's pretty much the whole game. But at least we could see what I was going for with the little mouse heads and the kitty paw, which was looking at you, but I thought it'd be funnier to see the cat toe beans. But that's all this game is. I abandoned it pretty quick. I only worked on it for maybe like a couple hours. And this is literally all I have. I didn't get very far. This one, again, a game jam. This was meant to be for the Fireside game jam. and I did not get too far with this one, but this one has more gameplay than the last one, at least. So how this works is you go into the water and you have to find these items, and it'll like cross them out, and there's a timer. And I wasn't sure how to make it fun because timers for me personally stress me out, and that is not fun for me. So I don't know how to make something that's not fun for me fun for someone else, because I don't like it. And if I don't like it, I cannot make it accurate for you. So I kind of gave up on it, but you can kind of see I got some stuff done in here, and in the water thing. I just followed a tutorial for the water. And I think it's just arrow keys. That's what it was, yeah. See, you like go into them and like it crosses them out. Like, it's a cute idea, because what I was gonna do is I was gonna have everything hidden within like seed plants, and you have to find all of the things that are here. The theme for the game jam was hunt. And I figured, well, what about a hidden objects game? Which I still ended up doing, but it wasn't this game. It was a different one, which I have a devlog on. I will have at the end of the video, like, all of my devlogs. So you can, like, let's just look through stuff if you want to see more. But that's this game. Which, honestly, is not a terrible idea. It's just, it wasn't for me. So, I'm going to look for the next one. Okay, this one should be very familiar, which is ironic because this was actually an attempt at a really big game that I ended up not making for one of the game jams hosted by GDevelop. It had a whole thing. I was going to make it where you can do all kinds of stuff. Let me like pull up my notes. Hello. So let me grab the book. I think I stapled it in here. Correct? Maybe? Yes. Okay. So I have lots of notes here. Okay. So let's pull this a little more. That should be good. I'll flip this around and edit so I can like show you properly. But the idea was you're a witch that is in the woods and you won't want to be left alone. You forage ingredients for potions, and then overnight creatures, like little cryptid type creatures, will spawn. And you need to defeat them to be able to get kind of like their parts to make potions. I had a whole bunch of stuff, notes in here for like foraging the items and putting where each thing goes by like types, like fungus, herb, and like I don't know what that says. Some kind of thing having to do with monster parts. How I would do it. How things would work. See, there's like a lot of notes here. I was like trying to narrow it down to be smaller for a game jam, and I was trying to design like, well, what if I just have one monster and it drops different parts, like it's like an amalgamation. And then I had like a loop here. Anything else here? Yeah, more notes. As you can see, I was very, very, very excited about this idea. And then I got nowhere with it. I didn't even get to make the potion. As you will see, nothing works. I will click on the mushroom and drag it, and that is all that kind of works. I can't even make a potion. But I have all of this, like, elements and, like, all of these, like, color-coordinated notes. And, like, trying to design a monster for it. And what's this? This is for bundle. Okay. So you see all these notes, and this is what we have. That's it. So what it was supposed to do is supposed to be able to drag it, and then once everything is in, you click that, and it drops everything inside of the pot. I didn't even get that far. However, if you want to see a potion game where I did complete it, I made one for Screen Jam. And I'm very proud of how that one looks and how that one turned out. So if you want to see that devlog, like I said, I will have a bunch of devlogs in a playlist, and you can watch all kinds of stuff about that. I think I have a Game Jam Devlog playlist. If not, I will have to make one, but I'm pretty sure I have one. So I'll put that one at the end because that's where my most interesting videos are, to be honest. But that's all I got from all these ideas, which is honestly not a bad game idea. I might make it one day. I have the notes if I ever want to go back to it. But yeah, I didn't get very far with this one, and I'm actually kind of sad about it. But I am proud of the potion game I did make like a year later. Or like what? No, not a year later, like 6 months later for Scream Jam. So like I said, if you want to see a potion game, you can go there. Alrighty, the next one that I have here that I had abandoned is Mole Munch. Let's see which version I ended up like keeping, because I might have to scroll through. We'll see. Alright, so this is another one where I was doing a game jam and I ended up just not finishing anything and I had to start over. This one, unfortunately, I figured out halfway through the game jam that I hate it and I'm gonna actually try and start over. I did learn some stuff from it, at least. If you want to hear more about this game, you can go over to my I made 2 games for 1 game jam devlog. But the idea of this one was you're gonna have moles and rabbits, and they're gonna come and they're gonna attack your crops, and you have to kind of like hold them back. I forget what the theme was for that game jam. Let me check. The theme was take control. So yeah, my idea was you're gonna control the pests by actively grabbing and dragging them away. But it didn't really work out too well. The spawning was weird. The pathfinding was weird. Like, just like, I have a lot happening here. Like, I have all of this, and I have this, and I have this. So I've done a bit. I spent, it doesn't look like it, but I spent days on this. Because, like, you don't see all of the stuff that got deleted, reworked, redone. Like, I tried many ways to do many things. Let's see, the idea was you do this. Oh yeah, and you have a limited amount of pickup time, so you can only like do so much. You better get it good the first time. Then I thought, well, what if I put them in the cage and like they can like go somewhere? See, sometimes they move, sometimes they don't, and like see, they're not attacking anymore, and now everything has broken. It was not worth it to me. I tried. It's just no. And see, if I move them, then some of them will move, some of them won't. I just, you know, I'm over it. I'm over it. So I did not like how this was going. I do like this tile set though. This is my first official tile set. And I think it's cute. I do want to make a game where I can do a tile set like this, but this game was not it. Okay, this one is my game for Pirate Jam. Now, I did talk a lot about my experience of Pirate Jam, but I wouldn't necessarily show everything, so I'm going to show a bit more, because I mainly talked about like how this was not for me, Pirate Jam, which I did consider doing it this month of January 2026, and I thought about it, and then I realized the moment I decided no, I felt relief. So it's not for me. But anyway, so the point of this game, it was gonna have a story. It was gonna have like a bit of a level up, not really level up system, but like you were supposed to like unlock more stuff as you went. It's meant to be like a maze type game. You have to avoid enemies, unlock spots, and you can get to like the house over here. So like, this is my first top-down house, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really happy with these trees. I can show you some of the, actually, let me show you the animations, because like, I put too much work into these to not at least let someone see them all. So, this is like with the main enemy, it's like an Incan looking cat. And then we'll look at the front view. And there's also a back view. Yeah. So we have the front view and the back view. I'm very proud of these animations, even though the game didn't get anywhere. There's also so many animations for this because first of all, he has a little idol, which I really like. And he has like the back view of walking. And then we have the front view. I love the bouncy ears. That's like my favorite part of this. And then there's the side, like walking to the side, but one is just flipped. So like he walks that way, and then he walks this way. But then here's where it gets interesting. So the theme of this game jam was you are the weapon. And my thought was, what if you literally turn into a weapon? So I had this whole like lore of like these elf people who are called tungstens, and they transform into different tools to be able to do different things. And my thought was, as you go, you can unlock more tools, and you can progress through the game, and your end goal is to save your sister who was kidnapped by these cat people. So here is when you turn into a sword. I don't have it. Let me put it on loop so you can... Having a little frick turning into a sword was not on my bingo card, but I did it. So yeah, that's some of the animations. Oh yeah, and on the wasp. This is like the wasp's idle animation. I'm really proud of the antennas. And then here is the wasp's flying, which I didn't really do much with the antennas, I'm noticing, but that's okay. So yeah, I wanted to show some of those off because I spent so much time on them and I didn't really get to do much. Anything else? Well, the locks. So this is just an idle lock, and then oops, I don't want to add sprite, I wanted to, yeah. And they all have one of those. I try to recolor them all. So yeah. So I guess I could show you some of the game. There's also music that I made because I didn't want to deal with licensing, so I made the music because I don't want to get in trouble when it's a game jam that big of like a loophole where I thought I could use the music, but then they find out I couldn't, and then I'm banned. Most game jams they understand if you just credit, but like I don't know how strict that one was, so I was just trying to make music myself. So the music's gonna suck, is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't remember how do I turn into the sword? I forget. It's not even working, as you can see. And nothing is working. Everything wants me dead! Oh god! As you can see, and when I stopped working on this, it was like, I had like 12 hours left, and you see there's so much wrong with it. I'm about to game over. Yeah. So as you can see, that game is trash. Alrighty, so this one is half abandoned. I did publish something from it, but I didn't end up making the whole game that I wanted to make. So I had this idea for a while of my butterfly character Fidget, who is on top of Parasol's hat right now. That is actually a character, not just aesthetics. That's her best friend. About him going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And my thought was you'll have 3 mini games, and each one will be part of his story. So a caterpillar, cocoon, and butterfly. It's called Flappy Fidget, which you will find on my itch.io, but it's only a Flappy Bird clone because that was going to be the last mini game. But I got so overwhelmed and over the project that I ended up scrapping the rest of the game. So I'm going to show you the rest of it. Okay, so here is the game before I decided to just say frick it. So I wanted the first one to be Endless Runner and you're running away from birds. And then this one is a game where you have to like click on all the birds and the ants coming up because those are two different types of like enemies. And you have to keep them from destroying the cocoon of Fidget. And then the last one is the one that made it. I'm not sure why there's this giant... What is this? I don't even see a new tile sprite 5. What happened here? Okay. And this is the Flappy Fidget game that I ended up publishing. I'm not sure what that was about. But this is very broken. I was also experimenting with climbing stuff, but see how like the water slows you down and the bird is like very much in the way, and I was trying to make it where you can like run off, but you have to like avoid. But like, yeah, see how it's very bugged, and like now they're like, yeah, it didn't work out is what I'm trying to say. Then there's this one, which is far more complete. Also, I made the music. And I was gonna have it where you have to wait a certain amount of days. See the days change. Also, I made the font myself. I did all the animations. And let it just like everything hit it. There should be like... Yeah. I never actually added the life or anything to it. But that's the whole game, and you're supposed to like last a couple days. I don't really know how many days I was going for at the time. Probably like 5 days or something, because this is gonna get tedious after a little bit. But that's this part of the game. And then this part hopefully works because something was broken. I'm not sure why it was broken. But this is just an endless... This is pretty much it. I was gonna have you hit a certain number and then it'll like take you to the end, and it was supposed to have like a little story too of Parasol was sad and then she's happy to see you came home. And there's like an iconic, I say in air quotes, iconic for me moment where he's finally a butterfly and he sits on her cap for the first time, her little mushroom cap. But I didn't get to do any of that. This is all that got published, was this part. But this part got published, but these two parts got abandoned. So like the full game I wanted got abandoned, but the game didn't get entirely abandoned. So I'm still including it because this stuff was still abandoned. This here I spent like weeks on. Because there's like so much happening here. There's day-night cycle, there's... I don't know why all of these things have little triangles on them now when the stuff is still there when I look. I don't know. But I have all of this stuff here doing things. And yeah, I spent so much time on it. This one, I spent not as much time on the mechanics as I did on trying to get the stuff in the background to spawn, which was a whole other thing. But this one, I'm sad I didn't get the game I wanted, but I wanted to move on to something else, and I just published what I knew I could publish, so just this part, but that's okay. Okay, so this game here is not abandoned, but this current form is being abandoned. So this is how we're going to end out the video, and for this game is not canceled or abandoned. It's just on hold till I can get a little more skill in. I have already tried working on some stuff on the side for it. This game is Bun Bun Bouquets. I have a bunch of devlogs about it. Unfortunately, almost everything in those devlogs is almost, keyword almost, I will reuse some of it, but almost irrelevant. However, it's not canceled, but I want to show you what I had. So how I have it now is, it's kind of like Stardew Valley. You walk around, you plant your plants, and it has weather, some form of the bouquet making system, so I could just like walk around and show you. So as you can see, there are seasons. So this is spring, and then we're in summer, then we're in fall, and then we're in winter. So there's seasons, there's days and months, kind of, because of the seasons. Do I have this enabled? I kind of do. So here's like what the inventory was gonna look like, which I'm gonna reuse this because I actually quite like how this looks. Do I have the tools enabled on here? I don't think I do. Let me check. Okay, I had it disabled. So you can toggle them, scrolling. So this one, you would... Why is it not working? There we go. And then I think it's this one, enable some seeds. So we have seeds here. Why are they not working? Well, I had the seeds working, but now they're not working. That's unfortunate. I don't remember why they're not working, but they used to plant and grow. But I had it where you go inside, they grow and everything, but it's bugged. But it's fine, we're not working on this version anymore anyway. Also, it's a day-night cycle, as you can see. And you can interact with this to change the day, which will also change the weather. This was going to be a flower journal that I never actually ended up making because I didn't get that far. Placeholder music made by a viewer. So as you can see, you can move them, you can rotate them. And then sell. I don't remember what this was for. It doesn't know how to stop the music or anything yet. But this game is not abandoned, but this form of it is. I'll still probably use the room and stuff and just have where he clicks and he goes to certain spots and stuff. But I'm not gonna make it the game in this form anymore. I made a devlog about how I'm gonna change it. But the game as it looks now, as far as a character, like kind of like RPG style thing. So yeah, instead I'm gonna go with more of a tile based thing, which I suppose I can show just to like prove I haven't abandoned it. This is not abandoned, I'm just showing goodwill here. So this is a prototype of what it will be like now. It will have like a plot number and you can plant seeds on there. I haven't figured out how to get the stupid seeds to not overlap. Hopefully this all works how I want. So you can select or you can deselect with right click, or you can drag and then deselect here. But we're gonna select and then we're gonna then you can select I haven't figured out how to deselect that yet, but I haven't implemented the growing part yet because I'm still trying to get it where it won't put a seed on top of another one. That's where I'm stuck. But this is the sounds and everything all placeholder. Do not panic about the atrocious sound design. it's gonna be something more like this, and then you'll get different plots, and you can like move over and like switch different plots. And we're still gonna have the bushes, so Bunflower fans will still be able to buy her bushes and trees. I haven't figured out how to do that with like how big they'll be. Might have to be like bigger tiles or something like that, or you have to select 4 tiles, and then when you plant it, it'll like find the center or something. I'm not sure, but it's still gonna be a thing someday. But right now I'm working on a different game, and yeah, I will still work on this, and when I have more to actually show, I'll make another Bun Bouquets devlog. But until then, as you know it, we're not doing that. We're doing something completely different, something I think I'll enjoy making more, and something I think will be more fun to play in the long run, because it won't just feel like a mostly empty Stardew Valley clone with only like one purpose. So yeah, anyway, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad I got to show off the stuff I didn't finish, because I'm always kind of ashamed that I don't finish a lot of things. But I'm kind of happy I showed it, because I've only really shown my successes on here, besides like the Pirate Jam and the Game Jams, where I kind of show the stuff I kind of had to scrap, but I never really show the failure. But I hope this is encouraging to people who are novice like me, that it's hard to pill to swallow, because I also am not good at swallowing this pill, so don't take this as if I've accepted it. I have not. But it is good to be able to know when to stop. And I can say from experience that stopping the Bun Bouquet development improved my skills in the long run, because I have made multiple Game Jam games that I'm proud of after stopping, and the main project I'm working on now I'm very proud of. So know when to stop, and also know when to shelve, because like you saw, most of these are abandoned, but Bun Bouquets is not fully abandoned. It's just shelved, and shelving is alright. Anyway, I will see you all later. I will talk to you all later. I hope you enjoyed, and like, subscribe, share. Apparently there's a little hype thing now. I don't know if that applies to me, but hype me up. Yeah! And I will see you all later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye!